So you need to click on Start Lab. Let's close it. So in this lab, basically you have to build your TV server and interact with your TV using app. So as you can see, like Amazon Relational Database Service, that is make it easy to set up, operate, and scale a relational database in the cloud, and it provides cost efficient and resizable capacity while managing time-consuming database administration tasks that allow you to focus on your application business. And if we talk about the Amazon RDS, so that basically provide you with the 6 family database engine, uh, and that engine that you have to choose while creating your database, while building your database. Either you can choose like Amazon Aurora, Oracle, or Microsoft SQL Server, or PostgreSQL, or MySQL, or MariaDB. So these are the basically 6 different database engine that are provided by Amazon RDS. So objective of this lab is basically like we need to launch Amazon RDS DB instance with the high availability. Then we'll configure DB instance to permit the connection from your web server. Then we'll open a web application and then we'll interact with your database. Okay, so let me show you this scenario with the picture. Just look at here. Like you start with the following infrastructure. We have that one of the region that is for your cloud region, that is your AWS cloud, and under it there will be a region, and then under the region we have the 2 availability zone. As you can see here, availability zone A and availability zone B. Under this both the zone we have the private subnet and public subnet. In zone B also we have that public subnet and private subnet. And you can see here, and both these zones are connected through the internet gateway. Like you'll see, like at the end of the lab, uh, in this infrastructure that the previous one will make some changes, like we'll establish the database RDS. Here you can see under the security group from availability zone A, and there will be another security group that will be added in the zone B, that is called as a web server. And here in the security group like RDS DB master, and the master will connect with the both the web server and RDS DB secondary security group. Okay, so these are the tasks we will be doing in this lab. So if you are going to start, so for that, as you have seen, like you have to go to the start tab and just click it. And after this, you have to choose AWS, like at the top of this instruction, you can see here, this one. Just click over it. Like as you can see here, uh, it has been opened with the new management console. This page is for your AWS management console. Then in task 1, you have to create a security group for the RDS DB instance. So for this case, you have to go to the security group and just create the security group. Under the services, you can find the security group here.
It's showing we have to choose that VPC so we can directly get it.
Yeah, I'll show you. Just wait. So first of all, you have to go to the TV security group. Like you have to choose the create security group, and then you need to configure. So in this case, like first of all, you have to go to the left navigation panel, and you need to choose the security group. Okay. So in this case, on the services menu, like here, if you read this instruction, like in the AWS Management Console, on the services menu, choose the PC. VPC is what basically is a virtual private cloud. And in the left navigation panel, you have to choose the security group. So for VPC, if we talk about here, I just simply type it VPC. Like you can see here, you can see like the resources by region and virtual private clouds see all the region. Like you can click over here, you'll find the lab VPC. But as for now, just you need to keep your patience, because here, like in next state, they're asking for the creating the security group. But in if you see in the management console on the service menu, it's asking to choose that port VPC. But only choosing the VPC, it will not work anything. It will be that connected through the next step. That time I'll show you where is the use of this VPC. So initially, just leave this step number 5 of task 1. You have to move to the next 6 step in the definite sequence. So security group that I did it earlier. Okay, again, let me show you. Go to the security. Here you can find the security group, and just click over here, create security group, and then give the name of this security group, DB security group. Then in the description, just give the permit access from the security group. And in the VPC, just give lab VPC. Like this lab VPC is what is the default one, which already been created. Then you will now add a rule to the security group to permit inbound database request. So under the inbound rule, you just add the rule, and which thing you have to add, you need to just under in the inbound rules span, choose add rule, and then the security group currently has no rules, so you will add a rule to the permit access from the Weave security group. So for this case, like you have to configure the following settings. Like in the type, you have to choose that MySQL Aurora 3306. Let me show you. Mm, Under the inbound, they are not asking to configure the following setting. Mm, See here, you will now add a rule to the security group to permit inbound database request. And in the inbound rule, plan choose add rule, and the security group currently has no rule. You will add a rule to the permit access from the Weave security group, and then you have to configure following settings. Okay, this is for SG, and then start Weave security group. Okay, let me just check here. For this one, I will type here SG, not as this, but HTTP, it won't ask me anything. Let me delete first and let me add it. The
Sir,
custom
there is a
TCP.
option for MySQL there in the type.
Let me check again. Here under this inbound rule, add rule, security group, no rule, that is fine. Type MySQL Aurora. Okay, so let me again check it. MySQL is, are you finding it, guys? Yeah, it's there. MySQL Aurora. Just under the type, just select it, MySQL Aurora. And next is you have to go to the CRDR values, CRDR IP security group. For prefix list, you have to just type SG and then select a web security group. So that last time I did it, SG, then web security group will find it. This one that has been added. And this configure the database security group to permit inbound traffic on port number 3306 from any EC2 instance, then that is associated with the web security group. So basically, this is you know the MySQL Aurora that you are selecting under the type of the security group in case of your inbound rule. So this is basically the security group that you are configuring and database security group that will permit inbound traffic on port number 3306. So remember these values from any EC2 instances. So next case, like you have to now choose create security group after this. So just go down, you will find here create security group. So this is all about like the task one. You completed, and the security group also been added. That is for the web security group, and type in MySQL Aurora. Now just see it in task two, like create a TV subnet group. So on the services menu, just find the RDS, and then in the left navigation panel, choose the subnet group. So just go to the services and choose the RDS here. And click over here. So for this case, I mean, you have to create a DB subnet group and configure. So just you need to create DB in database. So which type of database we need? Name it DB subnet group or DB subnet group in description lab DB. So you have to just on the services menu, you just choose RDS and then left navigation button choose subnet group. So if you type here in the services, this is RDS, and after this you have to go to the subnet group. Okay, in this side subnet group, you can see here on the left side, this is a subnet group. So if you want to create the subnet for this database server, here you have to click on the DB subnet group, create DB subnet group, and give the name. So just click on create DB subnet group. give the name. The BBC just to have shows lab BBC. So you have to scroll down to the add subnet section. Here they're talking about, and then expand the list of values under availability zone and select the first two zone, US East 1A and 1B. So here I'm going to select US East 1A and 1B. Now the next is like CIDR range. So expand the list of values under the subnet and select the subnet associated with CIDR ranges. Let's check this IP. What IP? They're asking 10.0.1/0, 1.0/24. So we need basically 1.0/24 and another one 3.0/24. So here we need 3.01/24. This two subnet needed. We need it actually here. After this, the subnet should now basically the subnet should now be shown in the subnet selected table that we have seen already. So now you have to choose create it. Choose create. So you will see the DB subnet group when creating the database in the next task. So here just simply you have to click on create subnet, and everything will next I will see in the next task. So as you can see here, the name of this subnet is basically DB subnet group, and that is connected through the VPC. Now you have to go to the task 3, create Amazon RDS DB instance. So for this case, you have to go to the left navigation pane and you just choose the databases. Here just search a database, or you can put it here. So in database, you have to choose create database. If you see the switch to the new database creation flow at the top of the screen, please choose it. This is dashboard for your TMS database management. Okay, let me again show you. So here you have to just find that use database. You can find here under the RDS, and then you need to click on create database. And then you need to select the MySQL under the engine option. MySQL you can see here. But we have two MySQL compatible, that is for Aurora. Another is MySQL the general mode. So you have to select the MySQL under engine option. This one is selected. Then under the template choose save/test. This one. Then next is under availability, under the durability, you have to choose the multi-AZ DB instance, the availability and multi-AZ DB instance. This one you have to choose. And under setting, you have to do some DB instance identify. Value you have to write. So this is about your DB instance identifier. Let's change it here. Just what they're asking, lab DB, and the master name, username is main. And the master password is lab password. Yeah, just you have to give lab password, and then you need to again confirm it. The same thing. I mean, lab password you have to just confirm. Then under the DB instance class, you have to configure. I mean, select this first table classes, include T classes. First table classes, this one you have to select. Then you have to select that db.d3.micro. Already been selected. You can see here db.d3.micro. Then under the storage, you have to configure storage type with general purpose SSD. Already been given general purpose SSD, but which group they're asked. It is specified storage type. So just keep default one. And allocate storage 20. And under the connectivity, the configure virtual private cloud. That is a lab VPC. So before of that, like general purpose SSD and allocate storage is 20. After this, you have to go to the under connectivity configuration. You have to choose the virtual private cloud. Under the connectivity, so here you can select the lab VPC. So here what is asking basically virtual private cloud lab VPC and under the existing VPC security group from the drop down list you have to choose the TV security group. We have the lab VPC. And scroll down, submit, we have to submit. And we have to select TV security group. Under the existing VPC security group, we have to just select the TV security group. And deselect the default, remaining just keep as it is. Next, you have to go to the expand additional configuration. Then you have to configure the ministry database. That is the lab one. Let me check here, like expand additional configuration and configure initial databases. A database name is lab and uncheck the enable automatic that backups. Okay, let me type it here.
Sir, at the bottom there is one.
Just see here, like you have to expand it additional configuration and then
Yes, sir, at the bottom there is an
just
additional configuration section.
let me check it. Additional configuration in bottom also if it is there. Okay, fine. So 2 times they have used. Here also just let me check it.
And sir, we have to unselect that
Yeah,
default thing in the security group.
yeah. Just wait. Here like deselect the default one. This one you have to deselect it. The thing. Yeah, here they have given, okay, this is the additional configuration is a part of, I think, where they have given connectivity. Okay. And the next additional configuration is, okay, this is a separate one. That one is asking. Okay, that's fine. Additional configuration and configure initial database name is lab. So initial database name here we have to go lab one. Then uncheck the enable automatic backups. Uncheck enable automatic backup. You can just uncheck it. Here enable automatic backup. Just disable it. And then uncheck enable encryption. This one also you have to uncheck it. Which one? Okay, enable uncheck enable enhance monitoring. Monitoring part also you have to check. So here like encryption that's done. In lab don't enable automated backups that also disable. They are asking uncheck that enable enhanced monitoring. Enable uncheck it's already been there. Enable encryption. Okay. Monitoring. Let me check where is it. Maintenance window. Okay, monitoring is not given. Okay, this one is monitoring role is given before of that. It is the default one. Okay, this one, monitoring on top of it was there. So there is just some, in the steep you'll be finding some disorder, like some things like they have even some above of this, like monitoring that is not given in additional configuration setting. On top of it, you are finding monitor. So make sure that guys, you are checking thoroughly all this thing, and sometimes those TAP if you're not finding, so just scroll up and down and just check it if they have mentioned in the other slot or in other section. So that also can be possible. So you have to be a little bit conscious while doing all the steps. So enable enhance monitor setting that I have to uncheck that I did it. This one they're asking. And after this, let me check what the then next is basically choose create database. Your database will now be launched. And if you receive an error that mention not authorized to perform, and I am create tool, make sure that uncheck enable enhance monitoring in the. Okay, so you have to make sure uncheck enable enhance monitoring in the previous steps. Okay, so here you have to just click on choose create database. After this, at the bottom of that here, okay, invalid endpoint. Okay, your request is create database log didn't work. So did I left anything? So let me check. If you receive error mention that not tries to perform, platform make sure that uncheck enable enhance monitoring. Okay, this part I did it already. This will turn off backup, which is not normally recommended, but will make the database deploy faster for this line. Okay, that's what we did. All the things and checked it. Let me check it once again before starting. Okay, so let me again try it. This one is some issues happening. It's not taking. Now let me check with the my Aurora. I mean MySQL Aurora. So let's change checking taking on. Okay, so how is multi-user deployment with data already send database. Okay, so I just what I'm doing here, I'm just closing this one, and let me again show you with the step. I'll go a little bit faster. This first pointed because I'm just showing you again. I'm in task 3. Just first go to the RDS and let's create the database here. Just click on here, create database. Okay, so just look at here in the step, like you will find create database. If you see the switch to the new database creation flow at the top of the screen, then please use it. But here it's not asking me to do that. Okay, so I'll leave it. I have to follow the steps. Then the next, like you have to create that delete select MySQL under the engine option. So MySQL is here. I'm just selecting this. Last time also I did it. Let me again try what is the issue is happening. That's fine. Now you have to go to under the templates and choose Dev Test. Just to go down to the template. Just click on Dev Test. Then under the ability zone, I mean under the ability and durability, choose multi as a DB instance. This one, I think this one I forward last time. Okay, let me see. Multi as a DB instance. And then in the instance setting, I have to select the lab DB instance identifier. So you have to just go to the setting and here just type it lab DB. Then in the master is me, just type it here. Username here, just you have to write main. Then in the master password, you have to give the lab password here. Master password is a lab password. And one more thing you need to do, guys. Like suppose you're copying and pasting, so the same thing again copy and paste. Due to this thing also sometimes happens. This is for your lab password. Right. Then next go to the DB instance class and then configure the first table classes. We have to select this bus server process. And in the burstable process, you have to select the DB-T3 micro. This one they're asking DB-T3 micro, that is already been there. And then under the storage, you have to configure storage type is general purpose SSD and allocable storage 20. General purpose SSD. Okay, so last time I kept it this one. General purpose SSD GP3. So here they have not been specified which one they have to choose. I mean GP2 or GP3. General purpose SSD, because general purpose SSD we have the three options. One is general purpose SSD GP, last one. I mean two options we have. SSD GP3 and GP2. So last time I have chosen GP3, the default one. This time I'm just choosing the different one. Let me see, because last time I could not be able to create a database. So baseline performance determine the volume size. This one is the performance scale independent from the storage. So let me change it GP2. Last time I have chosen GP3. Okay, they have not been specified. They could be specified. It will be easier to so find that. Okay, anyhow, now we have to go to another connectivity and configure that lab VPC. This one just make it 20. This one you need to connect lab VPC. So don't connect to an EC2 compute resource, connect to an EC2 compute resource. So what they are asking here, under connectivity configure virtual private cloud. Okay. Here no changes required in the compute resources. Only virtual, under the virtual private cloud session, you have to section, you have to just choose the lab VPC. The rest of the things don't make any changes. And then we have to go to the under existing VPC security group from the drop down list. You have to choose the TV security group, and that is select the default one. Existing VPC security group. So the existing that is already been selected, and here I have to go to TV security group, and this one just make it selected. After this additional configuration, then configure initial database name lab. Just to go down, some additional configuration. So at bottom of that you will find initial database name. So here you have to go to the lab. You need to type lab for your database name, and uncheck enable automatic backups so that we can quickly we can build our database quickly. If you enable multiple services, then it takes some too much time. So that's why we are just disabling it. So uncheck it, enable automated backup, then enable disable this enable encryption. And one more thing you need to do, like monitoring. This one also just disable it. Anything else they're asking? Yeah, this will turn off backup, and that's fine. Choose create database. Let me see whether it's creating or not. Okay, that's great. That's creating one. This one can close it. Actually, last time what happened, we have chosen this the step where there was a given like let me show you here. There the database years finding it. General purpose, yeah, storage, where there was a two options. So make sure all of them, when you will be doing the lab, like general purpose SSD having the two options, GP2 and GP3. Okay, so GP2 just choose it. GP3 last time when I choose it, it has not taken. There was some issue with the storage. So this time is creating. Last time it was failed. So make sure that while creating your database, you will be choosing GP2, not GP3. GP3 was the default one. It takes some time, guys. Just try from your side also. Okay, then just go down here. Like if your database is ready, then what you can do. So this one is for FAQs. Like here, as you can see, the message is showing like successfully we have created our database. So after this, you have to click on this lab DB. Like if you click on the lab DB, we are on this lab DB here. As you can see here, a status you have to check with that modifying. It's okay. And then you will find the endpoint under the security and connectivity and security section. Like they're asking, it will look similar to this, and just copy this all the link which will be coming under the endpoint and paste anywhere. Just paste it in a notepad that will be using later on. So here just I'll be copying this entire link, just copy it. Sorry, this one we need not lab TV. Just copy. Okay, after this, just go to the task 4. I mean, you have to interact with your database. So how to do that? To copy the Wave server IP address, choose the detailed drop-down menu above this instruction, and then show. Then we'll open a new browser tab and paste this Wave server IP address, and then push enter. Okay, the Wave application will display showing information about the EC2 instance. So how I'll get it? Like in this web application running on web server and configure to use this database. So you have to copy the web server IP address, shows the detail. Okay, let me see here. I have to copy this IP address. So you can do one thing. Either you can go to the instances or pick that IP. Here you will not get. I mean, just go to. It should be specified here also. Copy the web server IP address. So web server is basically our instances. It shows on detail drop down menu. Okay, let me see here. I mean, we need to ask for the instruction shows show. Okay, okay. Public IP. Can you see that this is our public IP web server, and this is our IP. First, you can copy it. So again, what there is to copy the web server IP address shows the detailed drop down menu above the instruction, and then show here they're asking for here this tab. You have to go to this tab, and simply you have to click over here, just click on show, and you have to just find the web server IP address. Okay, so here there are different IP they are given for different instances. So here we have the web server is one of the instance. Either you can do in this way, otherwise you can go to directly to the instance and you can copy that IP. Like as you know that in the previous lab I have shown. So you have to copy the IPv4, the public IPv4 address. And this is the simplest way you can do very quickly. So just copy this and then paste it in any browser. Any tab, just paste it. It's customer area. So this is your like welcome to AWS. Like you will find the message like this one to see. Welcome to AWS Technical SMCL and all. And here, this is the metadata that is available. Then you see the load test. If you click over there, CPU percentage is what shows you. CPU load percentage 100%. You can see. If you click on RDS, you will find here. Here you will use the endpoint which we have copied in the notepad. Okay, that you can see a database, username, password, everything it is showing. So basically, your homework will be, I mean, that is your assignment for today's classes. I'll show you after few step. I will tell you what are things you do. So just a minute. This one will be required. I mean, after filling some data, then you have to take this concept. So let me show you what are the things we'll be doing after this. So like we have opened a new browser tab and paste that web server IP, and we needed this thing. Web application will display and show the information about instances, like as you can see here. This is all about our EC2 instance details and our RDS. Okay, instance, their ID is given and availability zone of that instance. US is 1B, right? So that you have to verify first of all. Then choose the RDS link to at the top of the page, and that also I have shown you. You will now configure the application to connect to your database. So how will connect? Like first of all, you have to copy the database endpoint values, which you have copied, and just paste it. And in the database, just give the name. So simply you have to go here. This yeah, go here. Click on RDS and paste this link which you have copied. That's one. And just paste it here. This is your endpoint link of your particular database, RDS database. And in the database, just give the name lab. In the username, just mention the main. Just mention your main. And in the password, just give lab password. Okay, and then submit it. What's thing is coming? Just you have to check. A message will appear explaining that the application is running a command to copy information to the database. After a few seconds, the application will display an address book. And the address book application is using the RDS database to store the information. So basically, it is showing your address book where that will store all your information on cloud. Okay, so that thing you have to verify. So for this case, you have to click over here submit, and here you will find executing. Just check password. Just close it. Save main password. Not required. So yeah, you can see here. This is our database, new database address book that is appear over here, right? If you want to add some detail, you can write here your name. This is your homework, guys. Listen, that is your assignment in the address book of your RDS. Okay, you have to write your last name, first name, phone number, and your email ID, and then you have to submit, and you will find under the cloud that your database has been updated. Right? So this is your homework for, I mean, assignment for your today's class. Like under the address book, you have to update your name, your first name, last name, phone number, and your email ID. That thing for today's class. I mean, you have to just this part only you have to update on your cloud with your RDS database. So that much for today's lab. These are the things you will be completing for lab. I mean, this is your last, I mean, second last year lab for Cloud Foundation course, AWS Cloud Foundation.